excuse me as I gosh a little bit, but my days was this episode of Fire, and they honestly put in so much effort from what people are already trying to spoil on Twitter, which is unfortunate because this is usually why I don't even get on Twitter, which I didn't until the episode was over. But as soon as I get on there, there's a ridiculous amount of spoilers that I would have been pretty angry to see, just like how I'm pretty angry to see them on the new Avengers game already. People are posting a crap ton of stuff on there, so if you don't want to be spoiled by Avengers spoiler, stay away from that. Um, Outside of that, though, I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing um, some of the most weird choreographic fights uh, because even though the things that they were doing were pretty dope and was picking up and was going places, I still feel like there's potential for it to not look as good as I would, see other things. For instance, the very end of watching the man that we know who is just like angry and ready to straight up fight for, whatever this whole cause is, to be able to do something like this to him and his grandpa, and to pretty much prove his grandpa right that there's too much going on with these bad villains for him to be staying around. Now he has a much better uh, understanding of just what that is, like what that feels like, what are they truly about. And seeing this now is pretty nutty, right? Like seeing the lengths that they're going to go to just to really put trouble into the atmosphere, to take out full blown teams of people and then replace said people. Um, I think that was an interesting power that never got explained this week. Was it the doppelganger who had made a whole bunch of bodies or something? Like it doesn't really cover that. Like it has to be someone who seemingly could actually change the faces, maybe even the voices of these people into someone else that then resembled the people that are in the tournament, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, which is crazy in the grand scheme of the power in this show, right? So far, there is no limitation on how far they're going to go with certain powers, and it's pretty interesting that our main girl gets Lubu of all people. Lubu, come on, y'all. If you don't know who Lubu is, I highly suggest you look up some Dynasty Warriors clips. Just like do like the evolution of Lubu or something in Dynasty Warriors. They gave him pretty much the best legacy so far that I've seen, outside of what I've heard about like Ragnar, something like the Book of Ragnarok or something like that, where it's just a whole bunch of people like human like gods fighting against actual gods or something like that. I've been waiting for it for quite some time. Like I haven't been reading it. I've only seen like the titles of certain people who might fight, so it's just been me being outside looking in on that show. But Lubu is by far one of my favorite people that have ever came out of that franchise of Dynasty Warriors, and them creating certain aspects for that show. So it's funny to me to see what I did the side step. It's funny to me to see all this stuff actually coming out to the front, because I didn't know who this girl was gonna get paired up with, and to think that she got paired up with a monster like Lou Boo, which, to granted, he didn't use a sword in the things that I was playing, but regardless of that, it's still really interesting to see where they're going to go at the end of this all, because guess what? Anybody who has pushed the limitations of combat and all that stuff, they could ease, or not limitations, but the history, right? Like if they ended up in the history books for stuff that they have done, it's just going to be that much easier to incorporate those characters. So for me, seeing Lu Bu for one of our main characters, you best believe I am ready to see whoever else they wind up giving to our main characters. And if I don't actually know them, I'm probably going to research them to see if they even have remotely the same type of credentials and craziness as Lu Bu did. Outside of that, though, our main character is pissed. He is furious, man. And to think that it took him less than an hour to probably get from where the doppelganger was, defeating him, beating him into the ground, and then getting to the stage before this girl falls. And we saw how far he was traveling on his bike. He was not somewhere close by. So hopefully he explains a little bit, or like they show us a little glimpse of how far he actually traveled. Because if he traveled that far and his ability of not feeling any pain because of the pressure points that he hit are are utilized still, that means he did it all within an hour, right? Like he said, for the next hour I won't feel pain, and maybe that feeling pain sensation had gone away, but he didn't need it anymore because he wasn't going to get touched anyway. I mean, but the whole point of it is to pretty much amp him even further than he already was. And to think that he then goes against this ability this guy is showcasing, that he's throwing like these purple weird holograms, like shields or something. Not only does our main character dodge all of them, but he then blocks a ginormous sword formed version of it, right? So he is growing like the bad people kind of want him to, the key. And the grandpa, man, they show this image of the grandpa. I think he is my favorite like character outside of um, everything we're seeing. Out of the people who actually have stuff to showcase and the people who haven't, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to look ridiculous towards the end of this all. But like I was saying, there's a little bit of the choreographics that was kind of bad. Like I couldn't understand really where it was going, how it was gonna, like it didn't line up, right? Like there's just certain parts you can see it. The kicks aren't really connected, and the motion blur kicked in twice as hard, so you don't see a lot of the flaws and stuff like that, which I bet a lot of the people who are these ginormous fans won't say anything about, but I'm only bringing it up because I just noticed it, right? Like if I didn't notice it, I would have said something, but I know the people who are watching this multiple upon multiple times, getting all the pictures and all of the different scenes that they can to post about it, and they're going to make sure that if they take the wrong screenshot of the bad stuff, they're not going to showcase it. But regardless of that, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. When you're watching this, go watch The God of High School if you have not, or if you're still a dub watcher and you're waiting for these episodes to come out. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it catches up relatively soon. I'm not saying I hope the sub stops or anything, but I hope there is no buzz happen where there's just dub getting paused randomly because of whatever's going on. Maybe they need the voice actors for a different show. Maybe they need something else. So, not really sure. But overall, this episode was amazing. I highly recommend um, watching it if you're just picking this video, if you're just clicking on this video to see what this is about, and you hear me talking about it and you haven't watched it, go watch it, guys. Worth it, and it's only getting better as the time. So webtoons, I am here for it. I can't wait to see what else you have in store for me, because as of right now, You guys are killing it. So with that being said, everybody, have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I'll definitely talk to you in the next one. Peace.